your name is, what do you do?
I'm Jesia. I study in NITTE, BSc Nursing. I'm in my third year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. The first question that I would like to ask is, who do you think you are, like as a person? Like who do you think this being is? Like, is it just an animal or a person or an accident?
I wouldn't say accident. That definitely is not an answer to describe any person for a fact. Animal, yes. I would give two ticks for that. I believe all humans are animals in one way or the other.
Why do you say that?
Because the way we act towards other people, way we talk to to everyone else. Yeah.
So why do you think you're here in this world?
Um, as parents do say, we are all here for a reason.
But what do you think you are here for?
I believe I'm here to make a difference. Hopefully, to make a difference in my workplace, to my patients, to teach them, to show some kindness and love to everyone else, spread happiness.
Spread happiness.
Yeah.
So that's why you're here. Okay.
Yeah.
So all these years that you've been living here in this world, have you made a change? Have you made something, a difference?
A difference. I cannot say that actually. People who have seen me do things can only say that.
So only if you die, you'll know that you made a difference.
No.
So how
I
will you know that you made a difference?
when I'm acknowledged, people
have you-
acknowledge me for that.
So have people acknowledged you?
A few times, yes. Yeah.
For what?
It can be very simple. Like example, a fight between our friends have happened, and I have taken the initiative to solve the things between them, taken the time and energy to solve the things. This is one example. It might be small, but then, yeah.
The whole cosmology of you existing here is for for us to not fight, like small things.
No.
Like, what is the big difference that you can make?
Um, Difference I can make.
What do you think? What's wrong with the world? What do you think? What's wrong with the world?
Everyone's too
Toxic.
trusting and too fake, and no one really knows what's right and what's wrong.
So what's wrong with the world?
We have gotten to the fact where what's wrong what's wrong and what we do, what's wrong, that's also right. Get it?
Yeah, but yeah, whatever was wrong
Wrong
was right, and whatever was right is wrong now.
is
Questionable.
questionable now. Yeah, very much now.
So what happened? Like, why is that world like that?
Too much of opinions, then sin,
So
basically sin.
basically sin.
Yeah.
What wrong can be made right? Like, how can it be made right?
As we normally have these groups where people, few groups that can be made between each other to talk about the word, and it can be continued in every places where we go and like how we have in our
Yeah.
meetups, talking about the word, seeing what is right and what is wrong, what not to do, self-understanding.
So that can make a person right.
uh, that can make a lot of difference. Yeah.
Where do you think humans come from?
Scientifically, the evolution, um, monkeys,
Why do you say that?
evolution.
How do you know that?
We were learned in that way from our
Were you
childhood.
learned by looking at the evidence, or were you taught this is how it is?
We were taught.
Taught. So how do you
Yeah.
know it's true?
We were made to believe it is true. So
We were made to believe it's true. What if it's wrong?
it could be.
What if it's correct? Like, is there a difference on thinking that if it's correct, is there a difference in the way you live?
No.
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 Okay, are humans unique from other animals and organisms?
Yes.
Why? Because if it's evolution, what's the big deal?
Okay. Scientifically speaking, we can talk. Animals can't. We can communicate with people, understand their emotions, and I'm not saying animals can't, but there's a limit to what they can do. Imagination. I don't think.
So because we are superior to them, we are different.
We are evolved.
Because chance had it, we evolved, right?
Yes.
So what made you, so why did you get the chance and not the donkey? Or not the monkey? Like, I'm just, or why not the horse? Why you? And I'm just making you think of if evolution is true, that's the line of thought that you can think, right? Like if there is only chance, then why me? Why you?
I've always asked myself that question.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, do humans have moral obligations? If so, to whom? In what situations? How are these obligations determined? Okay, does humans have obligations?
Yes. Moral obligations. Yes, I have
whom?
moral obligation to myself, to my parents.
In what situations?
Um,
You told, right? Sometimes wrong, sometimes right.
yeah.
So how? Like what obligations?
Okay. See, moral. I'll start with moral obligations to myself. That's respect and dignity, right? To my parents, they trust me a lot, a lot. So I have to say I have to do what they think is right.
Do what they think is right. But at times you don't think the same, right?
Right.
So what do you do?
But then in that case, it is a moral obligation.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of have to.
So it's convenience, right?
Yeah, more like, yeah. And
So-
then there's work.
Yeah.
I have to, even if I'm very busy, even if I'm very tired in work, I know I have to look after my patient. I know I have to give so and so treatment to my patient, no matter what.
But is it absolute? Should every nurse do that?
Every nurse should,
Why?
because they chose that path of dedication towards your work. But then again, it's everyone's choice. No one may not everyone really does
So
that.
every person determines what they have to do,
Yeah.
what they want to do.
Yeah.
What happens when we die?
Scientific.
Yeah. You're a scientific person. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I mean, we die. Toxins are released from our body. Then we in soil. We literally just go to the soil.
But what happens to Jesia?
Jesia.
Like you just obliviate nothing? Or
Oblivion. I used to think that oblivion, but then there's really more to that. Like Our soul is not dead.
But how do you
Our
know
soul
that?
still lives.
As of now, you are made by evolution.
Yeah.
You are here by chance. And there is not more obligation of what is right or wrong. And why should there be a soul if that's the case? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, if it's chance, then isn't it oblivion? Like, we're here for, we are here by accident, by chance, and we'll go out by chance.
I get what you're saying. Since everything is talked in scientific point of view, there is a biblical point of view also.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what do you believe? Like, no, I'm not here to debate. I just want to know what you believe. Like, when Jesia dies, what happens? When you die, or when your parents die, what happens?
What I believe is our soul still lives, and later judgment takes place, eternal life or eternal death.
Who told you that? Sunday school.
Sunday school.
But
where-
what if it's a myth? Like, see, evolution, you can't see evolution happening, right? It's a, like, you can call it a myth because you don't see it happening now. Same like that, you have never seen someone who's died, right? So you can't experience that, right?
This is what we have read. This is what we were taught by our elders and our parents.
Okay, what are the most meaningful or important parts of your human experience? What is important human experience you've had?
As in being human,
Yeah, being
right?
human, yeah.
Mistakes that has happened in my life. I'm very grateful for that.
Okay.
Okay, it's because of that I've grown. Oh God. Yeah. Achievements, any failures that have happened, I'm grateful. It may not be a very happy incident or anything, but I'm grateful for those that have happened. Are you asking for examples?
Yeah, see, you being human, see, even dogs have failures and achievements, right?
Yeah.
Even when they fail, they understand, okay, because I fail, I understood. Or because my owner is happy, I'm getting food. It's an achievement. So, but what is the difference between a human being? Like, what are the achievements of a human being when you look at other organisms? What is something that stands out as in, like meaningful or important that other animals doesn't have? Or is there something like that?
Can you repeat the question? What?
Okay, so like how the dog also has achievements and failures, you also have achievements and failures, right? But is there so you told there's a difference between human beings and animals, right? So is there something bigger than that? Like if you look at a human being, that's the biggest traits that you can say, oh, that is a human being.
Yeah.
What?
Understanding one another, feelings that we're able to show. I mean,
But that has only caused chaos, right?
in some point, yes, but not entirely.
Okay, so now I'll be asking for personal questions. So can you explain, like, how was your growing up and till
My
yeah,
childhood?
Yeah. How was it? Was your childhood good?
It was a different childhood. I'm the youngest in my family, and mostly all the youngest children will be given the pampering and all the, they expect that. But I didn't have that. I expected a lot, but I didn't have that. I needed the attention, but I didn't get it. I'm not saying anything against that. I was sent to hostel at 9th standard. under my request. Okay, no one forced me to, under my request, and I've gone through a lot in my hostel life, being the only NRI in school, in hostel, ragging has taken place. So I've become more stronger, way more stronger, and I would say the Jesia who was 3-4 years ago is not the Jesia who is now. Because of the things I've experienced, the way I look into life now is different. It's very different.
How?
A lot of things I had been against in the past, I've thought about it again, and I say to myself, yeah, that can happen. Yeah, why not? That is not wrong. That is okay.
Could you explain something?
Okay. Personal question.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the point of it. Okay, there's one thing. When I was young, my sister would always make fun of me, saying, when I get a guy, I would understand, and I would seem to know what the fun in it in dating is. I was like, no, I'm never gonna get a guy. It's only marriage, arranged marriage. My dad and mom finding me a guy and all. Then later, after growing up, after seeing things in the world, after a lot of things, I'm like, yeah, I can get a guy. Why not? I'm not doing anything wrong, But I know there are things that not supposed to happen, not supposed to be done. But still, those kind of things have changed now. So when I tell my sister about this, she'll be like, "What? Your answers are completely different. Like what? why are you saying this now? She's like, when you were in ASAN, you were saying that dating is completely out of the question. No, not dating. Dating is not good. Now when I ask you the same question, it's like, yeah, chill, okay, it's fine. If you want to date. It's your choice. No arguments about that.
But what made you think like that? What changed?
What changed? Okay. See, personally, I was a very shy person towards guys. Very shy, because I was studying in a convent school. So till 9th standard, all girls school. Later, when I had to come to India, sudden change to co-ed.
Yeah.
So first few months it was very hard for me to look at guys, to speak to guys. When guys come to me, I'm like, okay, I know, Then slowly started talking to guys, started, having that rapport and everything. Gradually took place. Gradually grown.
So coming to Mangalore, or coming after these many years of education, your perspective of life has changed
Very much.
very much.
I'm not saying everything is good now. I'm not saying that. There is the good, there is the bad. But I'm trying to go in the good path. There are things that are hindering me.
Like?
Peer pressure, faith, everything. Yeah. At times I feel, at times I don't get time to pray. I don't get time. Or if I want to pray, I'll feel sleepy. I'm tired. So in those cases also, I'm like, I know I have to change, but then slowly it slips back to the side. Not always, but yeah.
So is there something that, other than dating, that changed your point of view?
Okay. Previously, again, before when I was in the Gulf, I was very against drinking, about people who drink, drinking, smoking, and all, because as a community, not much of us do. So after coming here, I was against it first. Like when someone told me, yeah, we go to parties, we drink, we do this, we do that, we smoke weed, I'm like, what? No, that's completely wrong. And I have that side eye towards them. Then later, I'm like, okay, they smoke, fine, okay. That's completely fine. It's
So
your
what do you think
choice.
that happened from that youth? Is it because like when you brought up you're in a Christian household that there's some rules and regulations and the way you look at the world, but that completely changed after you came out of the cocoon, or came out of your world of parents and thinking this is the world, right?
That can be said, yeah. Definitely, my parents brought me in that way.
So do you think they're wrong?
No, they're not wrong. No. I would just say my eyes have been even more opened. I've been more open to things, I've been seeing many people's point of view, and I'm just understanding it. I'm not saying that's right.
Okay.
I'm not judging them also. There'll come a point where they themselves will understand that, and that's when I want that to happen.
But have you seen people thinking like that?
A few I have seen, yeah, close friends, yes. They have, see, I study in a medical college, so 90% of these medical students are amongst the smoking, drinking, and everything else. They are medical students, as in doctors, so they know the consequences, what will happen. I'm talking about like their health-wise. So there'll come a point where they themselves will understand and they will stop. There's no point in telling them you can't do it, you shouldn't do it.
Is there a big no-no that you would say?
Big no-no.
Yeah.
I'm against tattoos. That's a big no for me.
That's it. Oh, you have more.
Cut right in between. Yeah. No. Sex before marriage. Yeah. These are things that I've been saying from my childhood itself. I've been having these promises to myself.
See, you told you are against drinking, right?
Yeah.
But you opened your eyes.
Yeah.
Right? But you're not open to sex before marriage. So can't people say like you're not open to that?
That's a personal decision.
No, but you're not open to it, right? You're not open-minded to it, right? So you get the question?
Yeah.
So what is the difference between that and this?
See, as in, when I know people, like, are you asking in my...
Yeah. See, as you told drinking, right?
Yeah.
It's a big no-no,
Yeah.
right? But you opened your mind,
Right,
like you
right.
told, right? You opened your mind. But why not opening your mind to sex before marriage or tattooing? Like, what is something that is hindering that opening?
Okay, that is like the one thing we have for ourselves. So
why not being open to it? So is it all about being open? See, as you told, like that, like drinking and smoking, before you weren't open to it. That's what you're telling, right?
yeah.
So is it because you're not open, you're open-minded to sex, that you are thinking a big no-no for sex before marriage and tattooing is a big no-no?
I am open-minded about those things also, but
So
it's
okay. No, is it okay?
it's not okay for me.
Is it okay generally? What about your daughter?
No.
Son?
No.
But how can you say that? You told it's for yourself, right? Right? See, all I'm making you understand is the truth relative? Like, is it your truth and my truth, or is it all the same for us? If it's not all the same for us, you are in a question mark of what I asked you right now. Like, you are not okay. What if your daughter is okay? And you can't tell her no because it's her body, right? So that is a relative truth, right? Like, that's her truth. But that doesn't work in a society, right? Like, if that happens, everyone's truth is different, right?
It's,
So if you say that's my truth or that's only my truth, and that's not your truth, I'm just ignoring what is true, right? Like, I just don't want to get into it. So are you scared of getting into arguments, getting into, pressure and telling them no? Are you a people pleaser?
maybe at times, at times, not every time, but
Would you say no?
sorry.
Would you say no?
Would I say no? Yes, yes. I would. For what?
No, for not normal things. For the things that you think it's
I stand
no.
for?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, definitely.
But what do you become open-minded for it? In the sense like drinking or smoking. You're open-minded to it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So is that like would you say no to that? Like if your friend started drinking, or if your daughter started drinking, or your son started drinking, would you say no to it?
Yes.
Okay. So there also it's absolute truth.
Yes.
It's not like your truth, my truth. Does it make sense? Okay.
Cut that part, please.
I'll cut it. But did you understand what I was trying to say?
It's a bit.
Okay. See, you told you don't mind people doing it, but you don't want your kids to do it. But what's the difference? Because
See,
you
it's
told,
everyone's opinions and choice. I have no say in that. I cannot tell them what to do and
But
what
is it
not to
wrong?
do. It is wrong, yes, definitely. Definitely, yes. I do believe it.
Okay.
Close friends, I would advise them, I would tell them. But to some people I see on a daily basis, like college friends and all, it's their choice. I have no say in that.
Okay.
But
Yeah.
people I am close with, like if it's my sister, my brother, my really, really close friends, Sona, Neville, definitely I would talk to them about it, ask them what's going on in their life, do they need help with anything? Because if that's the reason why they are going towards it, I need to know. I need to help them.
So what do you think your faith journey is? How do you think your faith journey is?
Over the past few years, um,
Like you can start from from small to now.
okay, I was a very different kid back then, as in I loved going to church, I loved praying, I still do, but it was true, it was real. My parents didn't have to force me to make me go and pray. People used to come to me for advices on. I'm serious, I'm not kidding. I'm not. People used to come to me and ask and talk about things that were going on in their life, and they needed help with um, faith related. I used to speak in Sunday school. I was the teen member for teens. What's the thing called? Teens meet. Yeah, I used to speak for teens meet. I was a very different person back then, and later things happened. I was kind of angry at God, and that's what made me.
What made you angry at God?
Um, I've fallen down too many times, and I've questioned God. Why me? Why is this happening to me? Be it 12th standard or college life, I have so many times.
Can you explain? Like what happened?
Uh, 12th, it's all friends, a peer group. So situations where so many things, um, you know, the blame game, and then I got caught in so many problems in class. Boys girls issues. Been too many times in the principal's room and on the verge of suspension also. So all these things were very bad timing right before boards. So you understand, I would question. I used to cry in bed. I used to pray. I used to literally cry and just tell God why is happening to me? Why is happening only to me? Why not anyone else? You know?
God should have protected you,
Yeah, exactly.
but He didn't. No, be honest. Yeah. So that's why you're angry with God.
Yeah.
Like,
I
He
didn't
wasn't
I
there.
didn't I didn't think that I deserved it. I deserved to be in that position to experience all those things. I didn't have to experience all those things at that time at my 12th standard, but it did. But I did experience them. Yeah.
So because of that, you felt cheated by God,
Yeah.
in a sense, right?
Yes. Uh, I was hurt. You know, things you expect but you
But
don't get back.
what did you expect about God? What do you think God would have done if you were you, if you were God? Like, what is that the thing that you expected that God would do?
It's a very ideal answer. Okay, as in no problems, a carefree life, nothing to worry about. You know,
But the world is so broken, right?
that's what we expect, but
Yeah. So then, uh, like you had you were very angry with God, like in your 12th, right? Then, like,
then turned back to God because of exams, because I knew if I would be angry at God, I would not pass my or get good marks for my boards. Definitely, I knew it had to be a balance, right? You angry at God, God will be angry at you.
who
God will
told
be
you that?
straight with God. I mean, it's kind of the same thing with humans, right? Kind of the same thing with humans, right? With us, friends, and everyone else. You show good to them, they show good to you. What you sow, so will you reap, right?
So then you went back to God,
Yeah,
and then
for a time period.
then
No,
again back to angry with God.
no, and then no, not angry, and then okay, life is going good. It's fine. I don't. There's nothing going on in my. Nothing going wrong in my life right now. So, yeah, I'm fine with where I am. Then again, when I'm fallen again, go back to God, cry, scream, question, cycle.
Till now.
No, till last year.
What changed?
What changed? Um, I realized I had anger issues last year. A lot of anger issues because it showed out to my parents, my sister, created a lot of issues for my family. Um, Ever since that, my mom has talked to me regarding this, and I realized I can't be angry at things like this anymore, you know. And faith reader also, you cannot be angry at God for things, the things that happens in your life. It's just not the way it is. For the past 1 year, I don't think I've ever gotten angry at God like that.
Why do you think Christianity is true?
Why do you think Christianity is true?
like you have friends who are Muslims, Hindus, and other religions, right? Or atheism, or who believes in a, who believes in a power, something, or science. Why Christianity? Like, why you choose this? Because you're born and brought up in that, or
Firstly, because I was born and brought up into that.
yeah,
Like, there was an option of me. Like, as I said, I'm not a straight descended from Christianity. I do have a mixture. Even in my mom's side, my dad's side, there are other religions. It's not just Christianity. So I was born and brought up into Christianity, and then later I experienced the goodness in Christianity. Like, um, I experienced God's love. I felt it
right,
at some point, not like, yeah.
right,
Um, um, say, this was really young, eighth grade. There was a point where I was really low, and I thought I would never make through it, get through it, and I felt God opening a way for me, you know, and it was at that time when I used to talk to people in camps and in teens meet and all, but I used to feel blessed to,
be there.
share, yeah, be there, share the word, and talk to people in church. So yeah.
So, do you think Christianity is different from other religions?
Yes.
But even other people who are in those religions have the feelings that you have, right? Like they feel good, they feel loved, they are happy. At times they are more religious than whom you see people say they're Christian, right? So why choose this when you can, have some other options? Why not? Haven't thought about it? Because Muslims or Hindus, like even they have feelings, they have, times of enjoyment or adrenaline rush, which scientists would say, or something like that, feeling good kind of fear. So why not that rather than this? Because they also get angry at God. They also get cry out to God. They also hear from God. They also have feelings for God. They also have retreats for God. So why is it because you born and brought up down?
That's one answer. Yeah.
If you are born and brought up in a Muslim family, would you choose Christianity? Actually,
If someone had introduced me to Christianity, even after I was born and brought up in a Muslim family, I would have thought about it.
thought about it.
Yeah.
That's all. So if someone
I
talks
would
to
have
you,
thought about it and, see how it was going. Once Christianity is introduced to me, I would have, see how it was going, and then maybe,
but you don't try that with other religions now, no?
no.
So how can you be sure that you would try with Christianity? Right?
Right, makes sense.
So okay. So you're born and brought up in a Christian family that you're staying there. Right. So how sure are you what you believe about God is true about God? No, just tell in a percentage. Like how much do you think, like you think about some things about God, right? like you can't get angry at God, or God should have been there, or God should have been, should make me happy, or God should be there for me, God should give me feelings. So all those things that you have, what, like, how much do you think the Bible, how much do you think what you think is so true from the Bible? Is that the God from the Bible?
Yes.
How do you say? Why do you say so? Because there are so many people who cry out to God, but no, God never answered. David, Elijah, Jeremiah, so many prophets. None of the prophets was encouraged. All were killed. All apostles were killed. All Christians were martyrs. So what made you think that you will never have suffering? So that shows, like from the word, Peter says you will have suffering. So take hold of Jesus. But I'm talking about the concept. I'm not talking about you. Okay? So when you're growing up, the concept that you had is God is always there for you. That sufferings that won't come your way. Does that make sense? That's what you thought.
Yeah.
That's why you got angry at God.
Yeah.
Because you're expecting. That's how it should be. Right?
Right.
Okay. So when you look back, from now, when you look back, out of the things that you know about God, how much percent do you think it's correct from the word? I'm asking again, if you are telling from the word, you need to know where it is from the word. Right? You need to know if it's really true. Just because I told you something doesn't make it true. So how many percent have you thought and tried? And then when you think about God, how much does it match? 0 to 100%, how much does it match?
70%.
70%. So you have read and understood and everything, right?
I haven't read the whole Bible.
No. 70% of what you know about God, you have read.
Yeah.
What about the 30%?
Cut that. Okay. Yeah. What about the 30%?
Yeah. Where does that ideologies come from? You understand? 70% you told, you think it's correct from the word, right? 30% is left. So that 30% of what you know about God might not be true. What are things that you think that might not be true? That you think it's correct, like that you think that you were thinking. Does that make sense?
Kinda.
Yeah.
Mm, um, I'll think about.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
Okay. So how do you think a person is saved?
We are saved through Christ.
Like how do you think a person can get salvation?
Um, how we can get salvation? By accepting God.
That's in God. So if I'm not a Christian, how would you share the like? What do you think the gospel is to me? Like, would you like to share?
How would I tell you what the gospel is? I would start with how God created the world, how He died for us, how He shed His blood on the cross for us, and the miracles He has done, the forgiveness He has shown. Yeah.
But do you think you believe it? The way you live it. You can believe any words. You believe that chair will hold you, right? Right. That's what you
Chair
said.
will?
Hold you
Yeah.
when you sit. That's what you believe, right? So like that, do you believe?
Do I believe?
The way you live, the way you are.
50%?
So is that enough?
Sorry?
Is that enough?
No. It's not enough. I know it's not enough.
So what do you think it's enough? Like what do you think it's not enough? Like what's stopping you?
I've talked about this. I've always felt there is time for me to correct my paths, to move from the wrong to the good, wrong to the right. So once I know there isn't time left,
But you never know when this time is up.
never know.
What is something that you tell your friend before you die?
Oh, okay. In a spiritual way?
Anything, whatever you want. I'm not talking about spirituality. Just
Okay.
telling whatever you want to tell. What would you tell your friend before you die? So if this is a cloud, what would you tell?
Look after my kids.
Like if you want to die now.
Now? Okay. I would tell them sorry if I've caused them any wrong unknowingly or knowingly. If I've caused them any pain. Yeah. I would forgive them also if anything wrong has happened between us. I would say that before I die. Yeah.
What would you tell to your family?
Have a great life without me.
Yeah, what would you tell? Honestly.
I haven't thought about it like that, so take some time.
Do you have any regrets?
Yeah, I do have. What regrets you mean?
It's okay if you don't want to share. It's fine.
What?
Yeah, it's okay if you don't want to share, then share.
There are things I regret doing once I came to college. For the sake of doing it, for the fun of it. Hope it's clear to you. Yeah. And at times I regret. I know I shouldn't have done it.
So in Hebrews chapter, in Hebrews, book of Hebrews, it says, if you hear His voice, you need to turn your heart towards Him today. Right? So what does it mean to you? In the sense, if you're hearing God's voice today, like you always hear God's voice telling, turn to me, right? Do you? No.
Say it again.
Do you hear God's voice telling you, turn to me?
Do I hear God's voice?
Telling you, turn to me.
not like literally, but if things are not going good, I know that's because my view is not straight. My communication with God is not straight.
But God is a very staunch God, right? When you do good, He's good with you. When He's bad, He's bad with you. But where in the Bible has it told us that? You were so bad that He came down from heaven, no? Right? You were so bad, still He told Jesia, this is the gospel. You were so bad that you were brought up in a Christian family. What good did you do to Him? For Him to be good to you? No, I'm serious. So in that sense, it doesn't work like that. Because you did something bad doesn't mean He's gonna put a thunder over you. That's what other religions believe, right? But the Christian God, because you were so sinful that He came down, even while you were still sinners, He came down, and He died for you. So what more do you need to prove His love to you? And you've heard that voice from the Word of God, that He has died for you, where He still loves you. So if you've heard His voice, and when are you going to turn back to Him? Like, what's stopping you? I know you told the time, but are you willing?
I am willing.
Why not now?
I'm scared.
Okay.
No, if you send a really, really wrong person to God, then a really unholy person to God, and what do you expect? Or to a, not God, to a very high person.
Why are you scared because of that? See, did you do anything to deserve God? Like, are you a good person?
I am a good person.
You're a good person. Okay. Are you a good person? Have you lied?
Yes.
Have you cheated?
Yes.
Have you caused, looked at a guy lustfully?
Yes.
Have you stolen something?
No.
Never.
No.
Never in your life.
No.
Not even the time.
Yes.
So what do you call a person who steals, who is causing adultery and everything?
I see where this is going.
Right? So you're not a good person. So in your standard, you're good doesn't make you good, right?
In my standard,
In your standard, you're good.
yeah,
In God's standard, you're not,
not
good.
good.
But whose standard is right?
God's.
Yeah. Because truth is absolute, right? So when you're not at all good that He died for you, right? So when you think back, I know you've heard the gospel a billion times, right? Billion times. Still you're not believing. Is it because you think God's grace is not worth it to you?
I'm not worthy of it.
Why? Why do you say that?
Because I know what all things I've done. And I know
What if God says it's okay? Come back now. Would you go? Would you? Like today, if God says, today, see, Jesia, you didn't die, right? Everyone's times will be up, right? When God has given you this much time, right? This much time. God has never called you to eternity. If you died today, you know where you would go, right? That's very clear, right? But He didn't. That shows the grace He has on you, right? Like, see, I'm not emotionally telling you something. I'm just honestly telling you. I would see if your dad, your physical dad, came to know what all you do you think he would deny you as a daughter? He might beat you up. He might say, I'm so unproud of you. Like, I'm so ashamed of you. But would he deny you as his own daughter? If your earthly father does that, imagine the heavenly father who loves you came down from heaven. Like, see, I'm not telling to again condemn you or something, but don't ever think grace is less for you. You're thinking so low of yourself because you don't know your worth. You didn't die till now. God has still given you time, right? Are you willing if God says, I'm willing?
Yes.
So if you are turning back to God, what is the first thing that you would do today?
Repent.
Yeah. But what is the first thing that you would do to repent? Repent means turning away, right?
Yeah.
What would you turn away from?
Turn away from I know what I would turn away from.
But would you want to have a relation with your father?
Yes.
How would you do it?
Praying and talking.
But you don't know who this father is until you read the word.
Read and meditate.
Okay. Since this is recording, have you on record? I want you to start reading the Gospel of John. Okay. Can I take this Gospel of John? John chapter 1. Yeah, John chapter 1 verse, can you read verse 9, 10?
There it was, the true light, the genuine, perfect, steadfast light, which coming to the world enlightens everyone. He was in the world, and though the world was made through him, the world did not recognize him.
Yeah, so you're born in a Christian family, still you don't recognize him as your God. Right? Verse 11 and 12.
He came to that which was his own,
Who? Jesia. But
and those who were his own
who is that? Jesia. Did not receive him.
did not receive and welcome him.
Yet,
But to as many as did receive and welcome him, he gave the right to become children of God.
so if you say yes to Jesus now, see, you don't have to say yes to me, but when you say yes to Jesus, what do you become? A child of God. Read on.
And that is to those who believe in his name, who were born not of blood, nor of the will of the flesh, nor of the will of the man, but of God.
Yeah. So if Jesia, it's not that your will is telling you to choose. God needs to change your heart, right? Like, I can't change your heart, right? If God changes your heart, no matter whose will is, no matter your dad, no matter me, no matter you. So imagine if God changes your will. Like, imagine if God makes you born again in his flesh. Read on. Verse 14.
And the Word became flesh and lived among us. And we saw his glory, Glory as belongs to the one and only begotten Son of the Father, full of grace and truth.
Yeah. And can you read verse 15 and 16?
John testified about him and has cried out for the record with validity and relevance. This was he of whom I said, "He who comes after me has a higher rank than I and has priority over me, for he existed before me. For out of his fullness, the superabundance of his grace and truth, we have all received grace upon grace."
Maths verses for you. Verse 16. Don't ever think God's grace is not enough. See, I'm not telling you can take advantage of God. Telling, therefore, since it's grace, it's fine, right? No. But never think that God is short of grace for you. He's asking you today. Come. So what, now when you think about it, what would you say before you die? To anyone? More than the forgiveness, more than the people who think you should forgive and they should forgive, don't you think their life is also in danger?
Yeah.
And do you think anyone is short of grace? If God can save Paul, if God can save me, God's blood can save you also, right? So, with everything that we've talked about, everything from beginning to end, why do you think you're here? See, I'm not asking for a Sunday school answer, telling, praise God. No. Why do you think you're here? Like, honestly, be honest. Like, if you don't know, it's like, if you're thinking about it, you can just spell it out. Why do you think, after what all you have thought about and talked about, why do you think you're here?
Actually, after talking to you about this, made me also understand a few things. A lot of things. I mean, things that I said were about me being open-minded about stuff and all, and I can say some views about that have changed now. Yeah. This was basically you reminding me that God is still waiting for me, because I can hear it screaming out loud now. Please come back to me. I'm waiting for you.
Will you go today?
Yeah.
Did you at least think about what we talked about? Is there anything that you want to ask or you want to tell? Or you want to closing remarks?
Closing remarks about this conversation.
Yeah, anything.
It's a good way to self visualize yourself. It's a good thing. Yeah. I would recommend it for all my friends. Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.
That's nice.
I highly doubt that, but